In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, peace be upon you. Apologies, I speak slowly. To speed up this video, click on settings, bottom right of the screen, then click on speed and select a suitable speed. I wasn't quite sure what to call this video, but in the year 2000 I have explained in other videos about an experience I had. During this experience I started telling people the beast of the earth was in existence, and I also believed that the Antichrist, otherwise known as Dajjal, was also in existence in the West. I actually believed I was living in the garden of Antichrist, and it seemed as if everybody else was possessed and mind controlled, and it was a really scary experience. Now, people close to me believed I had gone insane, and perhaps I had. Anyway, I gradually healed and started forgetting my experience. I started becoming carefree and being one of the people that I had been afraid of. I became that mind-controlled, sheeple type person. However, in the year 2008, I had another experience. In this experience, I had a vision of the sun rising from the west, and in my mind, I knew that the idol worshippers in the UK would come after me. They would come after me and my family, and I consider my family being the believers. So in this experience, I was very panic stricken, and I wanted to escape the UK. And during that time, I begged my husband to take me abroad, out away from the UK to a country with majority Muslims in it. Now, I needed him to take me abroad because my mum had been killed by my criminally insane dad. So I had no parents and no connection left with Pakistan, which was my parental homeland, and I felt I would be safe there amongst other Muslims. It didn't seem to matter if the US or UK collectively dropped a bomb, a drone bomb, on me while I lived amongst the believers in Pakistan. I would be martyred. That didn't matter, but I didn't want to live with idol worshippers and be oppressed by idol worshippers. I wanted to live in peace with the Muslims, not have polluted food and polluted air, and just die with the believers. And I felt that there are hadiths that suggest that the Antichrist offers heaven, but really that heaven is hell, and the Antichrist offers hell if you disobey, but really those who go into that hell will be in heaven. And so that's what I believed, that I had been offered heaven by the Antichrist, whose garden I was living in, i.e. the UK, was the garden of the Antichrist, and I was being offered the Antichrist's heaven, and I was living amongst the Antichrist and the Gog and Magog, who were killing people in what they designated, the punishment of hell. But their hell was actually the heaven of the true God. Now, my husband was refusing to take me. Now, I came through this experience and did find peace again in my mind. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala suggested to my mind that in the UK people would become like robots, following the consumption of fake unholy foods, like these fizzy drinks and McDonald's meals that they eat. But he would take me out of the UK just as these armed, mind-controlled, robotic, soulless people start surrounding me. So that helped me relax a little. But I actually also became prepared and resigned to my own death. I wanted to be a hero in the world, but I realized that perhaps my destiny wasn't to be a hero that stays alive. Perhaps my destiny was a hero that sacrifices their life and dies. Since neither did my husband nor my daughters want to leave UK, I had resigned to that. And I did come to peace and be at peace with being a sort of sacrificial lamb. There was something inside me that was telling me that that would be my destiny, but it pained me, but I did accept it. Alhamdulillah, as my daughters have matured, they actually want to leave the UK independently of my desires. They are sick of the pollution, the pesticides, the chemtrails. They witness these things themselves, and they've come to their own decision. And it's funny because there was a time that they would never let me mention leaving the UK. They would become quite aggressive with me because they felt that I was going back and deteriorating into the state that I had been in. So I do believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is drawing nearer the time for our exodus and gradually making it easier by changing their minds. But the timing or the point at which we leave is ultimately Allah's decision. Now, Sheikh Imran Hussein, God bless him, I do have respect for him. He has been saying for years that believers need to leave the West because they will be oppressed. But as I said, the timing of our exodus is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I believe the believers in the West are like Moses in the house of Pharaoh. Allah has placed us here for whatever reason and removed that freedom, especially for me, to leave at the drop of a hat. Now we have a purpose to fulfill, inshallah. we have a warning to deliver to the people here, and we cannot exit until our warnings have been delivered and we have the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to leave. And every place that I have worked at, and I've worked all over the UK, I have delivered my warning to the people. So, furthermore, recently Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala suggested to me that perhaps He will actually destroy the idol worshippers and enable believers to inherit the West. So we shall see what comes to pass. And I do pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives me and guides me to the truth. And also forgive me if any of the suggestions that I have understood have not been from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because I never have a clear-cut experience. Well, I wouldn't say never. Sometimes I have had clear warnings in my dreams of events that then I've taken precautions against, and it's worked out well for me, alhamdulillah. But this information that I've been putting into this slide, you know, I have not 100% certainty of the suggestions that I have received. And as always, I pray that Allah guides us, protects us, and gives us all peace, that He guides the Satanists, Antichrist, the devil, and the Gog and Magog people, especially those who are the most evil leaders of Western countries. And I pray that, you know, the average people who don't take part in the evil that the leadership take part in do not feel that they have to stand by them because they are the same colour as them, and they can be independent and make their own decisions about what's right and wrong. And if they see that they are doing wrong, they should speak out. I hope and pray that people humble themselves to Allah, and Allah grants us all forgiveness and allows the children to be a source of peace for the parents, and the parents to be a source of peace for the children. And I pray that Allah makes me a source of peace for all, and may I achieve martyrdom by defending the vulnerable.